Hi guys, welcome to episode 11 of All Things Football. Your stand-in host, Sahil Ibrahim, replacing Riaz Ahmed, who still seems to be celebrating Man United's third place finish in the Premier League. We also have with us resident Wasim Ibrahim, who all should be familiar with. And then we have, keeping with the theme of our guests, we have someone very special on today, someone who's got extended knowledge on football and coaching football in particular. Just reading out his CV, he's got FA Level 1, 2, and 3 certificates, UEFA C license, and he's currently busy with his UEFA B license. He's also got a diploma in sports conditioning for professional athletes. Someone hailing all the way from Nelspruit, Rashaad Minty. Rashaad, welcome to the show. Without further ado, let's delve into the questions, Rashaad. We'd obviously like to get to know you and what you do regarding coaching football in particular. So, specifically on a personal level, what sparked your interest in football and in particular coaching it?
I used to play a lot of football when I was younger. And I was actually quite a good sportsman, and I ended up with a very bad shoulder injury, and I couldn't actually carry on. So I took up coaching on the side. It wasn't anything serious at the time, and I really enjoyed it, and I saw how the kids were enjoying it. So I decided, no, let me get into it a bit more, and let's see how it progresses. And obviously, we started to do really well, and I started to do a bit of digging, and I found... I don't know if it's a school or if it's just an external company, but they do a lot of the courses through the Scottish Football Association. So it's the Scottish FA. And then I got in touch with them, and that's how it happened.
Rashaad, I've got a question with regards to that. Obviously, you've got an extensive lot of coaching badges, and those obviously take a lot of time and effort and dedication. How would you say other coaches, young coaches, can get to that level? And what sort of advice would you give budding coaches at this moment?
Things have changed in South Africa in the moment. Like, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, the FA has actually broken away from SAFA. They used to actually do it together. So now if a young coach wants to start, it is quite expensive to get into the FA. Course-wise, you're paying in pounds. So for any guy starting out, I'd say start at grassroots level. See how it goes there. Start with the young kids, start building them, and then try to progress. Because if you can get into an academy or you can get into a soccer school, they normally have the SAFA courses for the coaches for free. I think it's a SAFA D. And then you just take it from there. I don't think try rush into anything, for your coach. First, start off small and then work your way up.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys, they don't particularly dream of coaching when you're younger, especially if you're into football. You think of like playing football, and obviously circumstances could change, like in your case. With regards to where you currently are, you're coaching at Penryn College. What are your immediate plans and your plans for the future with regards to coaching? Do you have anything that's lined up?
Yeah, I do. So this was actually my last year with Penryn. I took them on a 3-year project because I wanted to build a team. Because at Penryn College, they only it's split into 2, juniors and seniors. So it's under 14s, 15s, and 16s up is obviously the seniors. So I decided the whole plan was to come down to Nelspruit, start the team from the under 16s and build them through the 3 years. Instead of just picking one team every year, I wanted to build a team and start, let the juniors start to follow what I'm doing and what I want to achieve there. So that's done because obviously it was Corona. And it's a shame because in my team I've got 4 kids or 3 kids that are national Mozambican players under 17. They played in the COSAFA last year. And there's a very good program at Penryn as well, because there's a sporting academy on the school, which helps because Mozambique is right next to us. So we got a lot of the Mozambican kids that go to the sporting academy and they're at the school. So it actually helps us. Going forward, no contracts have been signed yet. It's all agreed verbally. I will be going to Black Aces in Johannesburg next year. Either under 17s or under 19s I'm going to take. They haven't decided yet because they're under new ownership. And I'll be taking over the St. John's College first team boys next year.
Nice.
And then the long term after that is move to Canada and take a premier side there.
Yeah, you've mentioned moving to Canada, and especially like with regards to your, I've seen you've done also a couple of USA soccer, as they call it,
Yes.
USA soccer badges. So I imagine that's probably necessary when you're moving to Canada, or it would help.
No, it's strange. The USA, you know how USA is. So it's just USA is their own. It's their own badges. So it means nothing going to Canada. Canada's got their own Canadian football qualifications as well. But I can use my FA license. I can convert it if I move over. So just to show you how good a FA is, if you take your FAC, I mean your UEFA C license, and you convert it there, it's equivalent to their national pro license, which is quite a big thing. So I think I'm not going to go there and do extra courses. I might do a few of the safety ones and those smaller courses on the side, but I'm just going to convert my qualifications when I move over.
Rashaad, I've got a question with regards to youngsters. You're obviously coaching under 14, under 17, and so on. What's the sort of talent that you see at a coaching course or clinic at school? Well, what sort of talent is there out there, and how do you compare it if you look at the same age group overseas? Is South Africa, is the talent out there, or would you say we're lacking in that?
There is talent. There's a lot of talent in South Africa. We play against, because I take the first team boys, but I watch all the other teams play because I try to see the other talents in the younger age groups if I want to bring them up. We play a lot of schools, some poor rural schools, and it's crazy. It's just talent that goes unnoticed. The only problem is they don't have the resources and the right coaching to get them to the next level. But it's there. It's a shame that we don't invest in that, or the sporting departments don't invest in that. If they did invest in football, and this might touch a few people, like they do invest in rugby in schools, you would see a massive difference all around South Africa. It's just, I think it's just investment in the right coaching and the right resources. But talent-wise, our youth could probably take on the youth overseas easily if they were trained correctly.
Cool. So Rashaad, we have obviously, as you would know, or as you might not know as a Spurs fans, that we have Champions League coming up this weekend. So a bit of a change in terms of how we traditionally know the Champions League on a Tuesday and Wednesday night. We have Champions League on a Friday night and a Saturday night with some real juggernauts playing. We have Man City, Real Madrid, Juventus, and so on, all vying for a place in the next round. Some who are already through as well, but because of COVID, we've had a bit of a mix up in the fixtures. So, I mean, just some brain teasers for you regarding the Champions League, and specifically you and how you would set up as a coach. Tactically, if you were to set up your team against Barcelona, and you were Napoli, who are currently, the current score is 1-1, and you need, and Barca needing that away goal, how would you set up as the Napoli coach without leaving yourself exposed?
At the back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so look, I also support Atletico Madrid, so I do have a team in the Champions League. I did a case study on Barcelona. I actually used Atletico Madrid and how they nullified Barcelona's attack. So that's why I love this question. So I would do the same with Napoli. I could play two formations, but what Atletico did, and I'd use it with Napoli, is they played a 4-4-2. And Barcelona play a 4-3-3. And sometimes they move into a 4-4-2 as well. It just depends the situation on the field. But they don't play the ball wide a lot. Barcelona are very center of the field. right? And they like to just do tick-tacker, it's quick passing, and they like a possession game. So if you're playing a 4-4-2, I would probably say a 4-2-3-1. When they have the ball down the middle, you just get very narrow. You tighten up and you stay narrow. They can't go down the middle. Messi probably could if he wanted to, but there's 10 other guys that are on the field that have to also get the ball and try to go through the middle. So the point is to try to push them out wide, win the ball in your final third, and then you counter with an overload on the right or the left, because you've actually sucked the whole team in. So you got the advantage if you can do it right. I would say set up a 4-2-3-1 and try and
Napoli probably also have enough pace to hit them on the break as well, so that could work. So the second of the brain teasers is Man City versus Real Madrid, and I mean, I'm not particularly fond of Real Madrid because of many reasons. I just felt that they've had very lots of refereeing decisions going their way. As a Man United fan, especially against us, very much. So I mean, Man City really do have the upper hand. They've got 2 away goals, and if you are Pep going into the game against Madrid, obviously Madrid's form, I think it's changed since the last time they played, and it's been quite a while. So how would you, or what would your message be to the players as opposed to what it would have been before, considering the various circumstances?
So if we're in the lead, we've got the 2-goal advantage on them. The first thing is obviously you don't want the players to get cocky, so you don't want them to overthink their opponents. Next, you'd probably tell them it's a new game, so we play like we play every other game. We have to take it game by game. I'd probably just tighten up a little bit, like I said, how we do it with Barcelona, not to get them going through. I just tell them just to tighten up their defense a bit, but play the same game plan, play the same way you play. Just don't get ahead of yourselves. All it takes is one mistake, and it's mentalities can change.
And then we've got fixtures as well to look forward to in Juventus and Lyon. Juventus, again, similar situation to the other games, but Juventus are a goal down. They're now playing at home, so they know that they've got to score to go through. Lyon can sit back, but how do you see it as a away team trying to keep that clean sheet? But also, you can't get lost in just defending, because if you're going to absorb pressure for 90 minutes, that's a long time. And when you've got Ronaldo and players like that, it's going to be tough. So what would you say Lyon should do against Juve?
Well, Lyon's quite a big underdog in that match, but I'd make them go for it. You just have to change up the formation a bit. I'd put maybe a 3-5-2. Because you could always drop it into a 4-4-2. You could drop it into a 4-5-1 if you need be. And you just break. Everything would just be the same as I did in the previous 2. It would be tighten up the defense, suck them in, keep defending, draw them all in. It sounds a bit like Jose Mourinho, except we are going forward after we win the ball. And so the whole thing would be bring them into your final third, try push them out wide, press them on the wide sides. Well, you press in your final third and you press in their final third. If you do the press correctly, they're going to make mistakes. And I think they would be more nervous than Lyon, because they're the ones that need to actually score the goals. Lyon just have to pop one in, and then it's a whole different ball game again. But I'd say defend, stay tight, stay narrow, suck them in, and break on the left or the right side, and you overload the numbers.
It's interesting also because as away teams now, I think there could be 5 substitutes allowed. So teams could actually really work on the pace and absorb. You use a lot of energy knowing that they've actually got 5 substitutes waiting to come on and continue that same momentum. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to see that it's not going to be as straightforward as we think it's going to be.
Yeah, I think it could actually work in Lyon's favor, because Juventus are going to push, so they're going to send numbers up front. They're going to open up, and that could work in Lyon's favor. I think they do have quite a few pacey players in that team as well, if I'm correct. And I don't think Juventus also are a bit shot with confidence at the moment. So they've been having some very up and down results. So I think, mentality plays a big thing in this game. I don't know what Lyon's results have been recently, but I know Juventus. I think they lost their last game.
Yeah, I think they've been up and down since they won Serie A, but I think that's also not the greatest build-up into a big game like this, where you have players and players are not as sharp as they should be. So you're quite that it's going to be interesting to see.
So I always say there's a balance between having a Champions League game too far away from a league game, and sometimes coaches complain, that the league games, especially bigger league games, are too close to the Champions League game. But sometimes it might work in your favor. You have players sharp, like you say, Wasim. So it's going to be interesting. It's probably going to be more difficult of a game for Juve than it is for Lyon.
I think it might be the most entertaining game of the lot, actually, if they're going to push, because I know Lyon can attack, which is nice. So interesting game.
Definitely.
I'd love to see Memphis get on the score sheet there as ex-Man United.
Europa League. There's a few big teams in there as well. Inter Milan, Man United, Seville. So there's quite a few good teams still in the Europa League. So who do you see as one of the teams to go all the way this time around?
Probably Sevilla and United. I think that could be a final if they end up there. I don't really like to say United's going to win the Europa, but it looks like they might. But
we need a trophy.
Yeah, we've got enough. I think United, they've hit some good form recently. They have their ups and downs. But those are just the egos in the team. If one player has a fit, it kind of breaks down the whole team. And I think we know who he is. Good old Pogba there. But I think United or Sevilla could take that Europa League. Sevilla normally, they've won it quite a few times before. They're a very strong team. But my money's on United.
Okay, have you recorded saying that as a Spurs fan? Then Rash, I think as a last quiz, like a quick answer, PES versus FIFA, which one and why?
PES, that's a proper football simulation. It's realistic. The ball physics are great. They just don't have the licenses, but that's all FIFA is. FIFA's just they monopolize games. They monopolize it. It hasn't changed since FIFA 17. We're going into FIFA 21 and it's FIFA 17.4. So if I want to play FIFA, I'll just this is my view on FIFA. FIFA is Fortnite with a soccer field and a ball in the middle.
Oh, that's going to hurt some. That's going to hurt some views. But Rashaad, thanks so much for coming on the show and giving your time towards all things football. And in the future, we look forward to having you on again.
Cool. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Rashaad. It was excellent.